What's up, everybody? Dual666 here. I know it's been a while. I've had kind of a little lapse. Who could have saw that coming? I've been less frequent and less frequent over this last year. Just much more busy, working a lot more, still making a lot of music, you know, the normal shit. So the YouTube channel is suffering a little bit, but I'm not going anywhere, guys. What I lack in frequency, I will certainly make up with, you know, good updates even still. So thank you guys for waiting. We've got Galaxy Crusher today for the soundtrack. If you're not familiar with them, they're like a space-themed brutal death metal band from what I can tell. Pretty cool stuff. I found this at a local record shop this year, or just this last year rather. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy that. I'll have their links down below, whatever I can find for them. And yeah, no beer today. Just a little water. Pipe's empty too, so let's just get into it. All right, so this is going to be a 70s, 80s, and 90s update. I just remembered. So there's going to be a few from each, you know. This one is the Code Red release of Ghost Keeper from 1981. This is a really slow, burny, like just typical slasher. But I really like this one because the music is by the same guy that did the music for Prom Night, so it's very similar. What's his name? I know it says it right here. Maybe it doesn't say it right here, but yeah, it's the same guy. I know his last name is like Zaza. I forget his first name though, but I love the style of music that he composes. So yeah, this is, like I said, a slow burning, like much more akin to like late 70s slasher. But I still really enjoyed it, and the Code Red release of it is really good, so yeah, there's that. Really happy to have that one. Just watched both of these with my dad recently. We have the double feature of Blacula and Scream, Blacula, Scream. I had seen Blacula a long time ago with my dad as well, and I liked it. You know, I was just a kid though, and you know, I didn't get all of its undertones and whatnot. Coming back and seeing it nowadays, I really love the original Blacula. Like, it's just actually a really fun, good horror movie overall. The sequel, Scream, Blacula, Scream, I didn't think it was terrible. It just doesn't have the same charm. The pacing's really bad in comparison to the first film, and it's just lacking in a lot of departments compared to that first film. But all in all, you know, if you're really into the first one, I don't see why you wouldn't check it out at least. So there it is. Really happy to have these two from the 70s. Oh, we've got some stuff from the 90s. This next one's not really horror. It's more of like a thriller film, and it's based off of true events. It's Bully from I'm not sure, but I know it's from the 90s, probably the mid-90s. Who made this one? His name is, oh yeah, Larry Clark. Yeah, this is a really messed up, really fucked up film. Psychologically, like, it's a battering ram for the main characters, and just, yeah, really heavy shit when you think that it's inspired by true events. So I definitely would check this out if you're into stuff that's just like more real and believable and in your face, because this was good. This was grimy. Alright, and this one was a little more, you know, movie magic-y. This is like a watered-down slasher movie with Macaulay Culkin and Elijah Wood. This is The Good Son. This one came out in 93, the year I was born, actually. And I've always loved this one. Me and my mom would watch this a lot when I was growing up. I don't know, my parents watched a lot of horror movies with me when I was growing up. So I guess that's kind of like where I get this to an extent. But yeah, this is good. I think it's just like, it's a good movie, but if you're looking for a slasher film, like, I don't know, it can be lacking, I suppose, but I thought it was good. I think Macaulay Culkin is fucking evil in this movie, man. So happy to own that. I don't know how I haven't picked that up yet until now. All right, here's something I had been wanting to see for a very long time. We have Bride of Reanimator. This is, I believe this is a 90s film as well. It might be, there's no way it's from the 80s. Yeah, this one came out in 1990. And you can definitely see that it is a step down in production value from the first film. But I think it retains enough of that quality of the first film that it just comes off as, you know, it's still a good Reanimator film. I recently watched Beyond Reanimator as well, but I didn't include it because it came out in the 2000s. I'll talk about it some other time. But definitely doesn't even hold up nearly as well as this one. I think, like, if you're questioning whether or not you want to watch the sequels, I would say watch this one and don't watch Beyond Reanimator, but I'll tell you more about that when I speak about that film. But happy to own this one. Really good. Gonna break into some Blu-rays now, guys. We have an Arrow release with James Earl Jones. We have Blood Tide from 1982. It's like a killer mermaid slasher sort of deal, supernatural slasher. It's kind of mid as far as I'm concerned, but I had known about this movie for so long. I have it on like a multi-pack, and I watched it, you know, quite a bit growing up for like when I first was getting into horror films and collecting, and I had that multi-pack like from the beginning. So I wanted to get this and like check out the extras and I don't know, it's just, I love 80s films, and even if they're not great, like, I just love that period so much that I kind of just dive head first into it. Cool to have that one. John Carpenter's The Fog from 1979. This is a steelbook release. It's really sick. Always loved this film. Bought this for the extras because Scream Factory is still doing the Lord's work, putting out lots of good stuff. I've already talked about this film a lot in the past, so just, you know, wanted to show that I acquired the steelbook. Like I said, it's Scream Factory with steelbook, and there's lots of extras on here that I can't wait to dive into after I review the film itself, because I'm sure the picture looks wonderful. Okay, one more Blu-ray, guys. We have Nekromantic 2. This one is from '91, and it is absolutely foul. Probably the most grisly, brutal movie in this update. And I say brutal on many, many levels. It's just gory and psychologically fucked up, and it's absolutely disgusting and repugnant. It's all over the place, so tread lightly if that's not what you're about. You know, Nekromantic, it's giving you a lot of clues. If that's not what you're about, steer clear. As for me, I dug it. It's pretty grotesque, but I liked it. Not going to talk too much about this one either. I just found a singular release of Hellbound Hellraiser II from 1988 that I didn't have. It's one of those series where it's just like mandatory for me to scoop up the different editions when I find them for like $1. So there it is. Alright, so I had 2 of these films, so I'm not going to really talk about the Sentinel or Sssssss, because I've talked about them in the past, but I got this 3-pack to get my hands on the Legacy, and I'd actually read the book some years ago and really, really liked it. And I thought that this was a pretty good adaptation of it. It gives it like a giallo sort of mood, like a supernatural slasher, but like it's got some European qualities like of that era as the giallo, you know, film was dying out. So maybe it's cashing in on that a little bit late, but I really enjoyed it. So there's that. Alright, not going to talk too much about any of these either, because I have all of them. This is Goosebumps 3-pack with Monster Blood, Night of the Living Dead, excuse me guys, and Say Cheese and Die. And these are obviously all from the 90s. Like I said, I've talked about Goosebumps a lot, really love this show. Just cool to see another edition that I didn't have, so I picked that up for like $1 too. And here's one that I wanted to review in October, but I didn't get around to my last update that I wanted to. No surprise. So I kind of waited it out, and here it is in this 70s, 80s, and 90s update. It's The Fear Halloween Night from 1999, actually, right at the end of the decade. This is another supernatural slasher, and I was kind of let down with it the first time I watched it, but after repeated watches, I kind of think that it has this just cheesy charm that I'm fond of, and I don't know, it's grown on me a little more, but I just, wanted to include another Halloween film, before the end of the year, and this one is set on Halloween, so it's pretty damn good. I liked it. Definitely not your typical slasher, but I think it's definitely worth checking out, especially if you're into 90s horror, so there's that. I'm going to wrap this up real quick, guys. I don't know when I'll be back. I will try to be back at the end of the month for another one to catch up, a little bit, but we'll see, guys. I have a lot going on right now, and we'll be lucky if I can watch enough films to get to that far, get to that point. So we'll see. But, you know, you guys keep on watching horror films. You know, if you got any questions about any films that I've, you know, talked about here, feel free to leave a comment down below. And with that, I'm going to end this, guys. Hope you are all well, and I will see you again eventually. Take care, guys.